about a week and a half ago, I came over to the park for just a basic walkthrough and was a little bit concerned with the maintenance that the city was doing on the park. So during my walkthrough, it became very evident to me that the park was in need of an extreme makeover. I just made that up. But anyway, it needed to be renovated. We had the bridges with spindles that were suspect. They could have been a danger to the general public. We have benches that, because of the use, the picnic tables, because of the use, needed to be repaired or totally replaced. We had tree limbs. If you'll look, we have cleared several trees already. Old limbs hanging, and that were a possible hazard, a health hazard. If one of those were to fall, it could be very bad for the individual that was hit. I don't use the term widowmaker, but when a limb falls from a tree at that elevation, it can be very harmful to an individual. The swings that we have, that we have gotten by with for years and people love, could have been a liability, and so we're going to take these swings and make them safer. We're going to take up old cross tie work and we're going to remove those. We're going to take a lot of vegetation that is beaten and worn down and replace that. And so basically what I'm telling you with your video that you're making today, you'll see the process already in process, the project already in process, but you'll see that the park's going to have a total facelift. People who've used it for years will have a difficult time recognizing it when they come back to the park. I personally don't like the ducks. The ducks are self-serving. They like to eat and feed where they are, and for the general public, the number of people using this park is not a good mixture for the number of people, because the ducks will do their business on the walking paths, in the picnic areas, and a lot of times when the rain has been in the summertime, for example, when the rain level is low, you can come here and it'll smell like for lack of a better term, a chicken house or a chicken farm, because of the amount of debris the ducks leave behind. But then on the other hand, I have these people who absolutely love the ducks. They call the mayor's office if a duck is limping, or if a duck has a black eye, or whatever is wrong with the duck. So I got to deal with those individuals who love the ducks more than life itself. But I'm more concerned with the potential disease that a duck can bring to the park. So from this point forward, we will have less ducks in the park because we can't handle 25. I think we've removed between 40 and 50 ducks by the time we finish this. This park is not big enough for that many ducks. Now, the city of Jasper never has once brought in a duck to this park. They miraculously show up after Valentine's Day, after Easter, after somebody's birthday, and after that individual gets tired of that duck, they'll bring it to the Jasper City Park. So we, on a regular basis over the years, have removed several ducks. But this time, we have drained the lake. We've caught the fish. We didn't want to hurt anything. We've caught the fish that we could. We did lose a few because of the mud situation, but we removed the fish to another pond, and several fish got to go down the stream during the draining of the pond. But people are concerned about those issues, and my biggest concern is going to be about the human beings that use this park. And the duck will be second and the fish will be third down the hit list. Not saying we don't love ducks and fish, but at the same time, this park is for the people of Jasper and Pickens County and visitors who would like to come to our area. But again, we have the tennis courts. The tennis courts are going to be maintained on a different level because they are used, and we have many years have been able to police this area with individuals calling City Hall saying, Mayor, the the swing fell, or the picnic table fell, or it needs replaced, or the tennis court's ribbon is down, or this needs to be done. But we always have had someone here personally managing it, operating it, but we're going to keep a little more attention to it because the demand has increased such that we're going to have to spend more man hours here taking care of the park, and we pledged that to the citizens of Jasper. It looks like the lead wire is missing, so we'll have some fence work done. And back in the old days, the community would leave a squeegee or whatever, or broom, and the participants or the people who use the tennis courts would come in and do some self-cleaning, but those days are past. They expect the city government or whomever to come in and do that and have it perfect shape for them when they get here. And so those days of trying to have people to do their own sweeping and own squeegeeing the water off, we'll do it for them because that's what everybody expects. At the same time, we'll be cutting the budget. We're going to remove the top probably 3 to 4 inches of sand because the sand's been there quite a while, and I'm concerned about what could be in the sand because of in this particular park we have the sand, and we allow no animals, and we try to keep we have a sign there that you see we don't allow smoking inside the fence, but from time to time, just if you did a sand sample as you would do a water sample, I'd be concerned what you might find in that sand. So we plan to remove the top dressing of that and bring in new fresh sand for the grand opening, as well as the park on the other, or the playground on the other side of the lake that will replace the sand there. And we do that on a regular basis anyway, but it's overdue. We also plan to go in and renovate the bathrooms once again, which on a regular basis, because of the past we've had vandalism and things like this, we plan to renovate those. And also, if you'll look around the park, you'll see our old gas lamps that's approaching 20 years old. Those they're showing their age, and if we are able to take an extra bit of time with this renovation, which I know right now has been the time of year where people want to come to the parks, but I would love to replace those gas lamps with an electrical lamp so that we'd have a little more lighting in the park so that we could let people use the park a little later in the evening. But that's not totally decided yet. I've got to do a cost analysis on that. But if you'll look at the bridges are going to be repainted. We have already replaced many timbers already and replaced any suspect spindle. And just for example, there's these swing I was referring to earlier. The red buckets will be gone. The old fence here is going to be torn down. It is being torn down and moved. So like I said, you're going to see a total different park. The obstacle course is of the quality that it's held up for years, and has shown very little wear because of its age. So we're going to leave that, and we can work around that. I'm going to try to do away with as many cross-tie walls as we have, where people can be able to walk. If they're handicap accessible, they'll be able to walk down actually to the lake. And we're looking at bringing the people closer to the water. You can see over there where we're bringing dirt around this side of the little balcony over there overhanging the water. We're going to try to create a little platform area where you could actually walk and you could fish and picnic even right next to the water. So we're going to try that and see if that works. And I believe that'll be a really good addition. We stocked it when we drained it several years ago. We restocked it with catfish, fingerling, a catfish. We had several thousand placed in the park, and it was quite a bit of fun watching all the children come and even the parents, because those catfish would hit anything. You throw it out there and you could have a stringer of catfish within an hour, and it was a lot of fun. So we may look at the possibility, if the price is right, of restocking the pond with catfish, and we probably, if we can afford it in the budget, we might stock that on a regular basis, because that really was an attraction for the park as long as the catfish last. One of the biggest reasons we're here today is that you can't see it, but if you'll look over at that pine tree, if you'll look at the bridge here, if you look at the bridge, you'll see the pillars that hold the bridge. The lake was some 5 to 8, 10 feet down from the original level because the pipe here at the end had rusted to the point where we were having a loss, and so the lake level had dropped, and it was a time for a total re-overhaul, or otherwise we wouldn't have gotten into the lake. Okay. But what we're going to do when our customers and citizens come back, you'll have water all the way around from the rested edge that was originally there, hopefully with also the little additional platform for people to be able to walk on. But the lake is still considered a deep pond, so I would advise anyone who would visit the lake to always be leery of getting too close, especially small children, and allow them to get into the water because they will be in deep water very soon. And we will have placed around the pond strategically, hopefully a few signs indicating that we have deep water, because quite often people forget. And what scares me is watching a child with rollerblades skating around 3 or 4 or 5 years old, knowing if they were to have an accident fall, they would be in water with rollerblades on, so that would not be a good combination. But anyway, I hope when we finish this area here and a little renovations over there and some upkeep on the tennis courts, that the people really enjoy it, and hope that they will probably understand that the reward of having the park closed for a few weeks might be overshadowed with what they'll have when they come back. I'm shooting for, every time we pick a new project, like taking the fence out, replacing this here, but I'm looking at probably, where today's the last day of August, I hope to have it before the Marble Festival totally, but probably before then we'll have certain parts of the park project open, like the playgrounds. Once I can get the heavy equipment out of the way, I won't be worried about someone getting injured because of our work and getting all the trees cut down overhead. We will be able to open a few parts of a few sections of the park, such as the playgrounds, with certain restrictions until we get all this heavy equipment out of here. But anyway, I appreciate you coming over and videoing the park, and I should have had you over here a few days before when we tore it down, but I was so distressed over the broken spindles and the sink in the water and the smell of the ducks that we just had to get busy.